You have to look into this a little bit harder to figure out which tone she's using when she says mad love. Like, you're mad about love? Or you got, like, mad love for someone? I don't know, because her facial expression in this album cover doesn't give me a clue. Welcome back to Y.E.S, everyone. Today we're going to review Mad Love by JoJo. This is her third studio album. One I did not really grow up listening to because it was only released about 4 years ago. And I am a little perplexed as to why I didn't try to jump on this album quicker than now. Because as I expressed in my first two reviews of her first two albums, I liked JoJo a lot for what she had made at the time. And then 10 years later, since the second album, we finally get this one. And I didn't care to really put in some time, or maybe I was just too distracted with life at the time. I'm not sure. I guess I was kind of okay with that after having listened to it a few times. I don't care much for this album, unfortunately. There's going to be some things I'm going to have to clarify. JoJo has not lost her touch as a vocalist whatsoever after having listened to this album. That part, I don't have a question about. Everything else is very distracting, is the most basic word I can come up with right now. Unlike her last two albums, unless you count some of the special features and other ways she presented her songs, she has a couple of special features that are here to help out the album or help her present her new, slightly more young adult image to be able to connect with the kiddos or the adolescents or the college kids, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't really work, unfortunately. Some artist named Remy Ma in one of these songs. Nope, didn't really get that one. And another song whose name I cannot say on camera features Wiz Khalifa. And Wiz Khalifa doesn't sound bad, but he does not add anything to the song. So, kind of a waste. The one artist that does add something is Alessia Cara. I thought that was actually a pretty smart idea to be able to try and get other people to be like, oh, JoJo, I remember her. Alessia Cara, oh, she's relevant right now. Let's merge them together in a song. It had potential to be good. Didn't really get pulled off, though, because like this song and most of the other songs in this album, JoJo is... I think it's too easy to try to say that she's trying to rebrand herself, but the basic idea is that she is a young adult now, and it's like she has to try to convince her audience and everyone else who could potentially be her new audience to take her more seriously by using certain kinds of words and topics and over-sensualizing lots of stuff. To the point where a lot of the lyrical content or the topics of the songs are very distracting. I know there's plenty of people who are not going to care about that. I get that. But from an artist, even with a 10-year gap, there's people who've done far different and far longer can create a seamlessness or at least feel like there's a progress in the evolution of their style or music quality. Something still connects. Aside from the actual vocals, there's nothing in this album that connects me to her first two albums. Just that she's trying to be a more contemporary pop artist, while honestly, in a very not trying to be insulting kind of way, feels very third rate. Wow, I said that. Okay, instead of remembering stuff, I just gotta read some of these. Okay, so, Let's see. Songs whose titles like this. It's a boring song. High Heels. This is just noise. There's a song called Edibles. Moving on. The song I Am. This is one song where I do say the vocals and the lyrics are much better than the song itself. The thing is, it's one of those incredibly cliche vibe piano ballad oriented things. It doesn't feel original. It doesn't feel like it belongs to her style nor to her era. It just feels like something like, hey, this is a musical thing and a lot of people like this. Do that. It will probably work. Or at least it will fill up the album for that one track. The song Reckless. The intro to the song is actually kind of graphic for what I was going to expect. All the songs that I mentioned up to this point, I can't enjoy JoJo on a vocal level because everything else is way too distracting. And I know that there's a lot of people who probably are not going to see it on the same level as me, but if you are going to compare from what she did before, I am going to attest and defend that those albums, as young as she was, they were not that immature for being teenager pop albums. They had some depth, even if it was maybe to you cheesy depth. Maybe it was young love depth, which I think everyone at least at some point could have related to that. Right? No? Okay, so having said that, I'm going to give a couple of highlights, but they're just those little glimpses that keep this album from being terrible. This isn't good. It kind of is terrible, but not terrible in the sense where I'm going to just pound on it and destroy it. I can't do that because there's a couple of things in here that are all right. The very first song, actually, titled Music. It's a soft, simple piano tune, and not like in the cheesy piano ballad like I mentioned before. It's just, it works. It's a song that just happens to have piano in it. Not too special, but not offensive. The song Mad Love, I kind of don't care about a lot of other things, but it's kind of got that Las Vegas jazzy beat kind of vibe. You know what I'm talking about? And the song Good Thing. This one I could have put in a much better highlight, although it is a C2C song, but I will still highlight it because it's got a good dance beat. Okay, so small summary. A few songs with good production. Most of the other songs that I don't really care for. It doesn't have terrible production, but it doesn't have anything to the extent of actually understanding what should be a good beat aimed at the right demographic, or at least, can we try to understand who JoJo is as an artist? There is something to be said about that. There's tons of singers out there who have quality vocals, but they do not know how to represent themselves as an artist. There is a difference. There are musicians. There are vocalists. There are producers. There's a lot of things out there that you can do with your musical talent. But to be an artist, to market yourself, or to at least claim, whether on a label, whether on a YouTube channel, whether just to your friends or to that concert venue you're trying to book at, you gotta convince someone that you are an artist, whether in the mainstream sense or in the theatrical, real artsy sense. So after having listened and reviewed this album, with production of 77%, creativity 60%, expression and lyrics 55%, I'm gonna give this album an okay. Well, there you have it, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. I am going to have my review of her 4th album up very soon. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. And remember, if you want to discover, promote, and review the best in entertainment, remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff down below so you can get that yes in your life. See you next time.